Dr. Lisle, you have a great lecture up on YouTube called Losing Weight Without Losing Your Mind. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Because so many people think that they're going to go crazy, ditching the meat and dairy and eating whole plant foods. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Sure. The reason I have that lecture is because what people actually believe the key to weight loss is, they believe several things, but the most fundamental thing they believe in is that they need to eat less calorie or eat less food and exercise more. And this is and it's in fact true that if they eat less of the food they're eating now and they exercise more, they will in fact lose weight. It's a mathematical reality. However, I call that losing your mind. And the reason why that's true is there's a reason you eat. Let's suppose you're a person that's 30 pounds overweight right now. There's a reason why you are eating as much food as you're eating. And the reason you're eating as much food as you're eating is because you've got very sophisticated homeostatic drive mechanisms inside your brain that are causing you to eat X amount of bites of food. Okay? They just do. So I don't know how many bites that is, but the point is that let's suppose it's 1,005 bites a week. That's what you're going to do. And so to lose weight, you start to eat 800 bites a week, you are going to be hungry, okay? And you won't be hungry right after you've eaten 2/3 of what you wanted to eat. You'll actually have some satiation. But within a few hours, you're going to be hungry, and if you continue on this path, all you're doing is you're doing what I call eating underneath the hunger drive. It's like sitting in a cold room and you've got a sweater and you don't want to, you're not supposed to put it on. So you're just supposed to sit in there and freeze. And your brain will continue to cycle around over and over again saying, I should put the sweater on, I should put the sweater on, I should put the sweater on. It's going to be what it's going to be. Even if once in a while they turn the heat on for a couple minutes and you feel okay for a while and then they shut the heat off, pretty soon you're going to be cold. That's exactly what happens when people eat less and exercise more to lose weight. Their brain is constantly being teased into saying eat, 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 and it takes tremendous self-discipline to lose weight that way. So anybody that's ever lost weight that way, I pat you on the back. I congratulate you for truly human self-discipline that no animal would ever impose on themselves. And it's an utterly unnatural way to go about changing your body situation. So what is the solution? The solution is to back the camera up. There's so many different theories about why people are overweight. For example, you've learned to clean your plate as a kid, and therefore you ate a little bit too much because your mother told you not to waste food, or you eat too many carbohydrates because those are comfort foods and those cause people to be fat. You've got some issues in the oral stage of your development from your Freudian upbringing, and therefore you're fixated on the oral stage, and so you like to have things in your mouth, whether it be cigarettes or candy or food. The list goes on. You were abused as a child, and therefore your soul is slightly dinged to the left or dinged to the right, and somehow you seek food as comfort. Like, there's no end to it, okay? There's no end to the psychologizing on why it is that people have weight problems, and yet I'm going to solve this in the next 30 seconds. All you have to do is realize there's no other species on Earth that's having this problem except two. Humans, dogs, and cats are the only species that have weight problems, and only in certain areas of the world. Okay? So if humans, dogs, and cats are the three species out of 20 million that are having a weight problem, we should be immediately suspicious that this is some deep psychological disturbance. If you stress rats in a cage, they don't get fat. Okay? If you abuse llamas, they don't get fat. Nothing responds by getting fat to any psychological stressor. Okay? So this is not a psychological problem. This is simply a problem of what you're eating. And so if you feed cats scraps from your table, or your dog scraps from your table, then they're going to start to get fat. Okay? The reason is the food is too concentrated. In that 1,005 bites that you're going to eat this week, if that food has too many calories in it that are compacted in the food, then you will have eaten in your 1,005 bites more food. It's as if you got paid at the end of the week and they gave you 12 bills, whatever it was, would it matter which 12 bills they gave you, whether it was 12 ones or $12,000 bills? Of course it would, okay? If they gave you just one $1,000 bill of the 12, they probably overpaid you. Well, if you eat food that is very concentrated in calories, then you're going to overeat when you eat your 105 bites. Now, you could lose weight by eating 800 bites, but then you're sitting in the cold room trying to not put your sweater on. You're going to lose your mind, okay? It will fall apart and it will not work, ultimately. That's why everybody gains their weight back. Everybody believes that they've got some set point, okay? So this is, Dr. Phil's thing. Like, get real. You're going to have a set point that's you. You don't have a set point. Set point is a mythical concept in weight. The issue is that you have an appropriate weight for your species and for you, which is lean. And that's what you're going to see throughout the animal kingdom. Okay, you have some animals that carry more fat, but they all carry more fat. All whales carry a lot of fat because it's characteristic of the problems that they face in their environment. But the llamas aren't fat. The geese, the geese get fat because they do a big migration. Certain animals get fat. And human beings are designed to carry a very modest amount of fat on their bodies. Women carry a little bit more, men carry a little bit less. Some people carry a little bit more than other people, but the truth is nobody is designed to look like modern Americans. In the last 25 years, the average American woman has gained about 25 pounds. So the point where now a 35-year-old woman in the United States on average is 166 pounds. That is unbelievable. That's where all the beauty went. That's where it got trouble for people to find each other, even with the extraordinary developments on the internet like Match.com and other things like that. People are still having trouble getting together and finding relationships when now it should be easy. The reason is that people are overweight and they don't look the way they should. Okay? That's like gumming up the works. If your average woman is 166 pounds at age 35, let me tell you what that means. She looks pregnant. Okay? And the response in the animal kingdom to females that are pregnant is disinterest. Okay, so this is the problem. The solution is you have to eat like the appropriate human animal. If you eat like an appropriate human animal, when you've had your 105 bites of plant-based, plant-dominant, whole natural foods, when you do that, you won't be paid too much. You won't eat too many calories. You'll eat the appropriate amount of calories for you, and your weight will start to regulate automatically. If you're a relatively young person, it'll regulate down about 2 pounds a week. So literally, in the 20 years that it takes you to gain an extra 40 pounds, you can unwind it in 20 weeks.
Wow.
Okay? But it takes the discipline to actually do this, and you have to go through what Dr. Goldhammer and I call the pleasure trap. You have to go through the process of reacclimating your taste buds to much, much healthier food. And when you do that, you set yourself on a pathway to success. The beauty of it is, when I talk to women about this, and women are more obsessed with their weight than men for good reasons, their waistlines are much more scrutinized than the male waistline because men look at those waistlines to detect pregnancy. Okay, so they're under very intense scrutiny. I explained to them that if you don't want to go this path, that's fine, but you have to understand the phenomenal competitive advantage you have if you do, because other people aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's literally a gold laying in the street that needs to be picked up. And if people pick it up, if women will pick up that gold, they put themselves in a spectacularly competitive position in the romantic arena, which is a very big deal.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, is that it's all about eating the right food, not eating less or exercising.
Yes.
Yeah, so good.
It's about eating the right food. It doesn't hurt. My friend Rip Esselstyn will say that, diet is the king and exercise is the queen. Doesn't hurt to exercise. It's a good thing. It's a useful adjunct, but it's not the key. The central key is we've got to get the very rich food out of the diet and move towards a diet that is consistent with the teachers that we have today. McDougall, Esselstyn, Campbell, etc., Dr. Goldhammer, Joel Furman. This is the direction people need to go. And if they go that direction, they don't have to be perfect, but if they go that direction, they're going to find a very good response. They will not have to eat under the hunger drive. Eat comfortably, eat as much as you want, don't try to eat less, and you will be on the right track.